So I have multiple 8 figures in real estate. You don't have to go manage rental properties to make money in real estate. I bought a lot of commercial real estate through the stock market. And even things that are not REITs, there's other companies, say like Macy's, that a lot of the value of that company, it's a retailer, and they've, look at their stock chart for the last few years, it's more than quadrupled in the last 4 years. But part of the value of the company is they have billions of dollars in real estate assets. So there's a lot of ways to make money in real estate. And if you don't have $1 million yet, you're living a much lesser life than what could be easily available to you with the right guidance. My head coach has freed up a few spots in his calendar to hold one-on-one strategy calls with the highest quality applicants. If you're doing well already and you're looking to accelerate your momentum and do even better, click the link in the description now and apply for your strategy session. More at the end of this video. I'll introduce a good friend and coach of mine. Jake Shields is over. We've been training the last couple of days. We're going to do some more training, get some weights in, get some MMA in tonight and tomorrow. And Jake's a multi-time world champion in mixed martial arts, one of the best jiu-jitsu and grappling people ever. I've learned an awful lot from Jake. I really appreciate his guidance and mentorship in my martial arts work. And I think I helped him make a couple dollars in the stock market along the way as well.
Quite a bit of money. I'm so grateful to have a friend like Derek that I can get, sit here one-on-one and pick his brain sometimes and get some good stock investments. And been nothing but great in my stock picks. I wish I'd put in all my money in the stocks you said. A couple of them, within a month, look at it like, oh, that's doubled. We'll sell that real quick. And everything's up. So.
Well, sometimes it happens in a month, and sometimes it happens in 3 years. But as long as it happens,
my last year returns were pretty crazy. I think it was like double the market. Yeah, which is I was a little shocked when I looked at that.
That's a useful topic because to make money consistently in the stock market, you have to understand how it works. You have to understand how to evaluate a business. You're not just buying and selling shares of something that. Some vague nonsensical thing is you're a share of a company means that you're a fractional owner of that company. It means you own some percentage of the company. If you own 1% or 5%, that can be quite a lot depending on the size of the company. If you own 0.00002%, then then at least you're starting and you learn something. But the point is, it's not a mystical, magical thing of things to just go up and down whimsically in the stock market. You own part of a business. Essentially you're buying a portion of the future performance of that business. So don't think of it as some mystical thing. It's just like, well, if you're going to be a business owner, whether through entrepreneurship or through the stock market, you're going to have to learn how to evaluate businesses. You're going to have to learn how does a business function? How do I know if it's going to be profitable in the future? How do I know how it's going to perform relative to the 9,000 or so other publicly traded companies in the U.S. exchanges? And there's many more in foreign exchanges as well than the European markets or Asian markets, et cetera. So there's tens of thousands of publicly traded companies. And most of this course focuses on the stock market, and again with some tangential things of how do currency markets work, how does the bond market work, commodities markets, etc. But there's a lot of overlap and similarity in these things. But primarily, you're going to be understanding how to value businesses, how to think about the future value of earnings from publicly traded companies. Now we can also think about what is a forward exchange rate? Well, that's quite literally is like, well, how do we think the dollar is going to do versus the euro versus the yen versus whatever other currency? Well, you're still thinking about the future of that country. If you think that if you're delusional and you believe there's going to be financial responsibility in the United States, then you might think that the dollar will increase relative to other currencies over time. But you'd also have to think, well, other governments also mismanage their resources, and they're going to dilute the value of their currency as well. So who's going to do it more? They're all going to do it. Who's going to do it more? And that's sort of the play of understanding how foreign exchange rates work, of who's going to be more financially responsible or less financially responsible, and what does that mean for the integrity of that country's currency over time. So you'll cover that in depth. Options contracts is, I love playing with options contracts, particularly when things are very, very bad or when they're very, very good. So I like to be, selling puts and collecting a put premium when things are bad, and maybe I get stocks put to me at a discount. When things are very good, I like to be selling call options, and maybe stocks get called away from me at, and I get to collect a premium on that as well. So we'll go through that in quite a lot of detail throughout the course. You'll learn a lot of things about different vehicles for making money and how to value the underlying assets. Yeah, I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of the course. I myself have made tens of millions, plural, tens of millions of dollars playing with stocks. I love it. If you need to make money right now, but if you want to create a lot of wealth over time, I don't know a better place to do that than the U.S. stock exchanges. It's amazing. It's amazing. And there's nothing else like it. There's so much money that flows through those stock exchanges and commodities exchanges. There's so much money. There's so much money. There's nothing else like it in the world. So there, in my opinion, there's not a better, we can talk about cryptocurrency as a sort of a commodity or, alternative currency. I don't consider those sound investments. I think they're some of the best speculations in human history. It is a vehicle where you can make or lose a lot of money quickly. But I tend to like to buy things that have earnings and are more predictable to me, that I say, well, here's high quality assets that are undervalued, that I just need the world to come to their senses about the long-term value of some of those assets. And as we said, sometimes that takes a month, and sometimes that might take 3 years.
Yeah, it's usually longer, but there's a few times I think things pop so fast, so quick that I'm like, I'm gonna get out. I like to add too, like I have real estate and stuff, but it's a lot of work. Stock is by far my favorite way to make money.
Yeah.
I plan to keep my real estate because it's good to have, diversify a little bit, but real estate's a lot of work. Stock, it's not.
It's a lot of work up front.
Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of work learning it.
It's just like your MMA skills. It's an awful lot of work to learn to have the skill set that you do.
Yeah, I worded that long. It's a ton of work making money on it, but once you are buying the right stocks, it's no work.
Once you know how to do it, then it looks easy to others.
And I get a lot of advice from you, so for me, it's not much work.
Well, I'm happy to get a lot of advice from you.
I do a few picks of my own, but a lot of them are yours.
I'm happy in my MMA training. I get a lot of advice for you that you have similar experience. Yeah. We're about the same age, and Jake's been training. He's been working on his fight skills for 35 years.
Yeah, mastering that.
I've been working on business for 38 years. So I'm happy that we can exchange information, and we're both better off. What are your observations? And thanks for sharing that about real estate versus, and I love real estate.
Yeah, real estate's a great investment. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't trying to knock it, but it's a lot of work.
I love real estate. You make a lot of money in real estate, but you know what? You know where most of my real estate is owned is through publicly traded companies. So I have I don't know, something like 15 million-ish in real estate holdings. But through other companies that I own privately. So my private holdings in real estate are worth something like 15 million. My publicly traded companies, they're REITs, real estate investment trusts. I have another, 8 figures in that as well. So I have multiple 8 figures in real estate. You don't have to go manage rental properties to make money in real estate. I bought a lot of commercial real estate through the stock market. And even things that are not REITs, there's other companies, say like Macy's, that a lot of the value of that company, it's a retailer, and they've, look at their stock chart for the last few years, it's more than quadrupled in the last 4 years. But, there's part of the value of the company is they have billions of dollars in real estate assets. So, there's a lot of ways to make money in real estate, and I don't like residential real estate myself. I don't deal with rental properties.
Dealing with rental people is just it's so hard getting good people calling you with the most obnoxious stuff. That's why I'm not huge in having much real estate.
What's the stupidest phone calls you've got from rentals?
Like clogged toilets, change lights. That was stupid to change a light.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah, they used to call me and say, hey, there's a spider in the kitchen.
Yeah, spider,
yeah. All right, kill the spider. So what? No, I need you to come over. There's a spider in the kitchen. It's just going to wait there for him.
Yeah, it's not my problem.
It's just going to wait there for him. I'm going to drive across town. And the spider is just going to chill out and wait there for me to come kill it. I thought to myself, wow, like a lot of people are leaving California. A lot of people are leaving New York, New Jersey, Illinois. And where do they go? Where are they all going? Oh, they go to Florida and Texas. The majority of them go to Florida and Texas. And some go to Tennessee, a couple other places, but mostly Florida and Texas. And I thought, well, what are the companies? Where is there a home builder? I looked into real estate. So where is there a home builder that has a lot of exposure in Florida and Texas? One or the other, preferably both. And then I came across this company. It was worth $900 million at the time. It was called Green Brick Partners. And I dug into the details on that. Probably spent 10 or 12 hours looking at their financials and thinking about it. I thought, this is a great company. They're only selling 600 houses a year. They're struggling to put out 1,200. Historically, they were selling 6. They're struggling to put out 1,200 a year. They have about 20,000 lots in inventory. So they already owned the land at 2019 prices before things went up a lot in 2021 because of all the money printing and inflation that happened. And I bought that company for $19.70 on average. And I sold it for about $53 on average. But on the 1970, I only had to put down 30% because I used a margin account. So I paid about $6 cash for the stock, a little under $6. I paid about $6 out of pocket to secure a share. And then I sold it for about 53. So you can do the math on that. But I made about 2.65 million, something like that. About 2.65 million. Now, of course, I wish I bought more. I had 80,000 shares at one time. At 80,000 shares. Of course, I wish I had, a million shares. But but you can make money this way, folks. When you see something like that of like, oh, things are being poorly managed here, here. What are the ramifications of that? What are the repercussions from these bad policies and bad management? Like, oh, it's driving the wealthiest, the smartest and wealthiest and most industrious people to other places. Okay, well, who's going to profit from that? Oh, in this case, a home builder. When you have a significant migration, when a lot more people are moving to an area than moving out of the area, and you're significantly adding to the population, housing prices have to go up. And if there's housing prices are going up and there's profits to be made, then somebody's going to go build new homes. So, and I just bought that home builder, and I sat on it for about a year. Not much happened for about a year. But then when things really happened, they happened quickly. And then you make a lot of money.
I think that's the one I bought like a month or two before it popped. You were telling me this thing. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I went and bought a bunch and it popped a month or two later. I'm like, oh, that was easy.
He sold his for more than I sold mine. I think you got about $57.
I think I looked at it and it just jumped so much. I'm like, this is such a big jump. I was going to sell half and I asked for you sold. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to sell it all.
Yeah, I think he sold for about 57 and I sold for 53.
I really wanted that one. Thanks, Derek.
Good for you. Good for you.
You watch this video all the way through, and that tells me you're dedicated to learning more and earning far above average outcomes in your life. Congratulations for that. But now it's time to take action. If you could have earned those results by yourself, you would have done it already. My head coach has opened up a few spots on his high-demand calendar for an in-person, one-on-one strategy session to help you. On this call, we'll give you the pragmatic advice that you can implement tonight to get laser-focused on the right metrics and leave mediocrity far behind in your past. Click that link right now in the description below and apply for your call immediately. Do it now.